Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
The Island Shuffle Show.
The Island Shuffle is a show. And what's that show called?
It's called The Island Shuffle, and we shuffle the show about the island. So the show that we shuffle is called Lost.
Yeah.
And we shuffle it. We watch every episode, but we don't watch them in a row. We watch them in a random order.
Yes.
And you really, it's true randomness. It's not, a lot of people have algorithmic randomness, which is not true random.
Exactly. We're not using a random number generator. We're using We're using
random.org.
We're using random.org, which pulls right from the static, baby.
Yeah, it takes it right from the ether.
Yeah, exactly.
They found a black hole.
Exactly. This isn't like the random number generators that you can use to predict your video game speedruns or anything like that. This is real randomness.
One time I thought I found a black hole. It was just a dark hole.
Oh no. What'd you learn?
If you shine a light in it, it's not black anymore.
Okay. Definitely not as dangerous as a black hole, for sure.
Yeah. Einstein.
What did Einstein say about dark holes?
He said, just shine a light on them. They'll get brighter. There's a difference between a black hole and a dark hole, and the difference is that black or dark holes don't have very much mass.
Okay.
Comparatively to black holes.
That's true. I feel like that's true of black holes and most things.
Yeah. Except for the churches. They have a lot of mass.
Speaking of churches, the only church I go to is the Church of Lost.
I love that church.
That's my favorite church.
Where does it start and where does it end, you know?
Where does it come from, Cotton
Where
Eye
does
Joe?
it go? Lost is a churchy show. Without a doubt, true.
Very, very religion-y. This episode is not that religion-y.
No, it's not at all.
What episode did we watch this week?
We watched season 4, episode 1. It was called The Beginning of the End.
That's exactly right.
Awful name.
Not a good name.
It's not the beginning of the end.
No, it's like halfway through the show.
Yeah, this is very much the midway point.
Mm-hmm. This is
so I guess that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it's not nothing, but it is also...
You can only enter a forest until you're halfway, and then you're exiting it.
Exactly.
That's bullshit. That's an awful quote.
It's not a good quote, but it is...
Einstein didn't sign off on that.
It's not a good quote, but it is how the producers of the show approached the show. Because remember that...
God, they're idiots.
They're dummies.
They ruined the show in the second half. They ruined it.
I like that he threw the hard T on there.
Yeah, well, I'm passionate. I feel like I was watching comedian Todd Barry's comedy special just today, and he was talking about how his girlfriend got him to watch Project Runway, and he was like, okay, like I don't really want to watch this, but 2 episodes in, he was like, really, Cassandra? Yellow shoes with a yellow dress? And that's how I feel with Lost.
Is that you are not you theoretically are not on board.
But very quickly, I got so heavily invested in it.
Yes, I mean, it only took 31 episodes.
I mean, incredibly quickly.
Are you talking like this particular now? Or are you talking like this whole session, or are you talking back in the day when you first watched it?
No, like within. I feel like by episode 2, when we started watching it, I was like, all right, this is fucking crazy.
Yep. Episode 2 was the Richard episode, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was fucking awful. And that was really good for me, actually, because that was so far from the Lost that I had been familiar with.
Where does this episode rank in terms of a Lost that... I don't know. I guess should we just talk about the episode?
I suppose we could.
I suppose we could
talk about Lost on this episode of this podcast that talks about Lost.
We could. I mean, we don't have to.
Yeah, I don't really see the point at the same time.
If last week is any indication, we really have no obligation to talk about anything.
No. Well, and we often... don't want to do this. We do it for the fans and the pay at this point.
Yeah, we do. I'm in it. I'm here to cash a paycheck. I'm here to cash a 6-figure paycheck.
That's exactly it. Including decimal points.
Yes, exactly.
I only make 1,000 to 999,000
That's exactly right. Anything outside of that threshold, more, less, throw it in. Throw that check in the shredder.
Yeah, exactly. You ever get a check that's just too high and you're like, I can't reach it?
You ever get a check that's just too high and you're just like, we need to have an intervention with this check.
It's 2 in the afternoon.
Speaking of which, this episode starts with Jack starting his day
Oh,
with the
yeah.
vodka and orange juice.
Yeah, that was... So the start of this episode is crazy.
It's wild.
You have someone on the news
Mhm.
being chased by police in a high-speed car chase.
Yes.
And you have Jack watching the news. He puts vodka in a cup and then orange juice in the cup and then more vodka in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can think is, out of these two people, the police chase person and Jack is being less responsible.
That's true. We also find out later in the episode that Jack is, I don't think it's necessarily supposed to be the same day, but we find out he's a practicing surgeon.
Oh, yeah, he is practicing. And one
Mhm.
day he will be a full surgeon
Mm-hmm.
if he practices enough.
Well, exactly. Practice makes perfect.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots if you don't practice.
You miss 100% of the stitches you don't stitch.
That's exactly it. And there's
Mhm.
someone walking out there
Mhm.
with a gaping wound
Exactly.
that they need you to stitch it up.
Exactly. What's Jack gonna do? Just do it sober?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do a surgery sober? Or what are you thinking, you goddamn idiot?
Come on.
Come on, it's 11 in the morning.
Come on.
I haven't even had my vodka and orange juice yet.
My favorite drink.
It's a little screwdriver.
Oh man, I love to be a practicing surgeon and make myself a screwdriver.
That would be fucking awful.
It would be bad.
He should be drinking better.
Sadly, this is not a Jack episode.
No. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say sadly, but
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess. But we haven't watched a Jack episode yet, so we don't know.
we don't even know
We don't even
if they're
know.
good
We
or
don't
not.
even. They're probably there's I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, someday.
We should figure out the amount of Jack and Locke episodes compared to what percentage they occupy, and figure
Yes.
out how unlikely it is that we wouldn't have gotten one of them by now.
Yeah, that's definitely easy math to do.
I figure it feels like we're at about a 1 in 15 chance or something.
It's definitely
like that
and every week it gets exponentially wilder.
now. Yeah.
But who's driving that car on the news in this high-speed chase?
Oh, you want to know who's driving that
Well,
1970s Camaro?
Well, listen. I see it crash. I see the police with their guns drawn.
With their guns drawn.
Their guns are drawn.
Their guns are out in their hands, and they say, get out of that old car, you rusty old fuck. And then this rusty old fuck steps out. He's got the jean jacket on.
One arm at a time.
One arm at a time.
One leg at a time.
One leg at a time.
Hands up.
Hands up.
Turn around, Mr. Rustfucker.
Rust fucker. Yeah, the rust fucker.
and slowly but surely he turns around, and who is it?
Slowly but surely, you know that it's Hurley.
That's what I like to hear.
It's Hurley driving that goddamn rust fucker.
That's right. And they arrest him, and he goes off screaming about how he's one of the Oceanic Six.
Yeah.
That's
he
right.
says, don't you know who I am?
Yes. And guess what? We're in the future, baby. We're not in the past.
We're off the goddamn island.
The boys are off the island.
Let me tell you how good it feels to be back in that L.A. sun. The cops have drawn their L.A. guns.
Yeah, they're LA Gons.
Their L.A. guns. Their lagons, as they call them. And then the lost letters come
The
up.
lost letters come up, and they go by the screen, and then they miss the camera just slightly.
It's so sick.
It's so sick. We're sitting there like, whoa.
Should we just keep Hurley's future story rolling?
I think so, because there's not much of it.
Yeah,
And it's
no, there
all,
really isn't.
There's I think maybe 3 more scenes, maybe.
It's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
Is what it is.
Mhm.
It teases one.
So the next scene we see is Hurley being interrogated by a cop, and the cop is like, "Go, you think I don't know who you are? Guess what? I knew someone who was on your plane. Her name was Anna Lucia. She was cool. Maybe you met her on the plane." And Hurley's just like, "Never met her. Not
Never met her once.
Which is a lie.
He met her. watch. No, he didn't watch her die.
No.
She died with his
Libby.
girlfriend.
Exactly.
They died together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a connection to have with someone.
Exactly. I'm ready to die together with someone.
Ride together, died together.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
That
Waka
iconic
flocka.
that iconic lost scene early where Jack rallies all the survivors around and he says, "If we don't ride together, we're gonna die together."
Yes, and they do.
They do.
One of those things.
One of those things.
We don't want to spoil it. One thing about this show is we're very careful to not give away any spoilers.
Exactly. Yes, we are. We are so dedicated to not spoiling the show that we went ahead and already watched the first half of the finale.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because you can't spoil it if you only watch the first half.
Exactly. How's it gonna end? We'll never know.
I really want to find out.
And
I want that fucking episode to pop up.
And when we do know, we're not gonna tell you
No, absolutely not.
because we don't want to spoil you.
We won't record that episode. We'll set up the mics and we'll talk about it, but we won't press record.
Exactly. It'll be a very conceptual podcast.
Yeah.
It'll really make you think about the medium and all that.
Oh yeah, the medium.
So the cop is like, "All right, I'm gonna get a donut. You want one?" And
Classic cop thing, might I add. I didn't
Yeah.
want that to slide by because that's one of the few notes that I made in my notepad.
yeah, you said you were very happy about these new pens you got. Did all those ideas really pay off?
Yeah, they really did. So this is sort of a perfect summation of everything that's happened in the episode. But I wrote, whenever the cop said, "I'm going to go get a donut," you know what I wrote? 4 words. Cop gets a donut. And honestly, crazy move on the writer's part. Like, that sucks so much if you're like making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
You're writing for like this super popular network show. And
Everybody's
like, what should the cop do?
You should. What do cops do?
Well, I guess they get donuts.
Well, I was reading the funny papers and I saw this cop with
Yeah.
a donut, and that just cracked me up.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very. It's big time silly.
It's big time silly.
So cop leave to go get
BTS.
donut. Hurley alone, and Hurley look at the two-way mirror, and suddenly it's not just a two-way mirror anymore. It's some kind of aquarium, and Charlie swims up to it.
Yes, hell yes.
And then it breaks, and it starts flooding the room, and Hurley's like, "Bah, get me out of here! Knock, knock, knock! Mr. Cop, please come back from your donut!"
Please, little donut cop. Please help me. The room is flooding, Donutman.
So Officer Donutman comes back, and he's like, "What the heck is wrong with you?" And we see that it was all but a figment of Hurley's imagination. Also, we should mention that we see, I forgot this one detail, which is that during the interrogation, we see footage of Hurley in a corner store making a checkout.
Uh-huh.
And then he looks over and then immediately flees, which is presumably the start of the chase.
Yes.
And he's getting grilled on that, and Hurley refuses to talk because snitches get stitches, of course.
Snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, the cop is like, "Hey, you want me to lock you up in the loony bin? Because that's what I'll do." And Hurley says, "You can do that?"
Yeah.
Actually, yes, please do that.
Hell yeah, do that right away, my boy.
This is our first time really confronting the fact that, since this is our first Hurley episode, I guess, Hurley has a history of mental health issues, actually.
I didn't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know.
Integral part of his character that we're only just now seeing a quarter of the way through the show.
You never know.
You never know what you'll get when you tune into Hurley.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And then Hurley, he goes to the ward.
He goes to the ward, and he's playing Connect 4, and he's having a good time.
He is killing
He's
this,
crushing
like,
it.
completely out of it
Yep.
mental patient.
Yep.
He is killing him at Connect 4.
Mm-hmm. And
He's like, "Oh, you almost got me that time. Want to make it best of 7?" And
Yeah.
it's like, Hurley, you're just beating this person again and again and again.
Again and again. And then the lady comes over, and he's like, "You want your meds?" And Hurley's just like, "Hell yeah, baby. I'm living my best life right now."
Yeah.
Hurley's just loving it. Hurley's having a good time. But then he has a visitor.
Oh, does he ever? There's this man. He's wearing a suit.
He's wearing a suit.
Looks real official.
He's Lance Reddick from The Wire and other things, too, I think.
I just know him from The Wire.
And he has a name in character, but I'm just going to keep calling him Lance Reddick because I forget what his name is.
Yeah, I forget what his name is too, and he's the cool boss.
Yeah, he's the cool boss.
Just if you want to picture him, just think of this. McNulty.
Yeah. I'm sick of your shit, McNulty. And McNulty's like, wow, this guy's just a fucking boss man. And then you learn,
just stupid goddamn boss.
and then you learn he's not just any old boss man. He's got a big heart too, but he's just hard because he's a boss.
Exactly.
Anyways, that's The Wire though.
That's good show. Maybe the next one will be about that.
Yeah, let's do the Wire shuffle, I guess.
Hell yeah.
The drugs shuffle. I don't know.
The
The Baltimore shuffle.
What?
The Baltimore shuffle.
The chocolate truffle.
The chocolate truffle. Yum.
Yummy yum. Hell yeah. Show me where the Baltimore shuffle goes to sleep.
this got really sleepy.
Hey. So, without further ado,
I just really liked hanging you out to dry there for a bit. That was really fun.
I got lost in
You got lost in the
my
Baltimore
own
shuffle
eyes.
and the chocolate
Sorry.
truffle.
What?
You got lost in the Baltimore shuffle and the chocolate truffle.
It was good. I had to write a new song,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I go into a trance.
Yeah, you were really
A trance-like state.
you were really you were gone.
I was gone with the wind.
Yes.
But we got me back.
we got me back.
I got back.
Hey, I've got your back.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, you know what else?
What?
Baby got back.
Hell yeah. I'll
Sir-
tell you that much for sure.
Sir mixes a whole lot.
You're right about that, goddammit.
So, what does Lance Reddick do to Hurley in this episode?
He says, I'm a lawyer, son,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw you on the news,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a lawyer for Oceanic Airlines,
Mm-hmm.
and we just said, oh boy, that old guy's not doing so good, so we would like to transfer you to an even better hospital. You can see the ocean, and it'll be nicer than this place.
But Hurley, he says, you know what? I'm having a good time here. I'm beating this guy at Connect 4 repeatedly.
Every fucking day.
Every day. I'm just all right here. And he's like, but, thanks. But, and then Hurley, and he says, I'm fine. And then Lance Reddick says, are you fine, Mr. Reyes? Mr. Anderson. Fun, the Matrix joke in 2018 I thought would be funny.
That's 2001, right? The Matrix?
Yep.
Good.
Well, if you ask me, it's timeless.
Oh my god, it's 2001 and it's an hour and 42 minutes runtime.
If that is the actual runtime of the Matrix,
I'm pretty sure it's long.
I will be stunned if you just pulled the runtime of the Matrix from thin air.
I've got it. Yeah. I've got that like sitting right up here in the old noggin.
Just in case you gotta whip it out. What is the exact runtime of
the Matrix. I hate when you're in a room and everyone's like, all right, we gotta leave in 2 hours and 3 minutes. Do we got time to watch the Matrix?
Yes, we do. Don't even pull out your smartphones.
I know for a fact.
Trust me. I'm already popping the VHS in. Don't even worry.
Exactamundo.
Oh, boy.
Seriously.
The exact runtime of the Matrix. And then Hurley's like, who did you say you are? Can I see some kind of business card? And Lance is like, I don't know. I lost him. I dropped him down the toilet.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoopsie doodle.
Clumsy me.
And Hurley's like, all right, we're done here. You can take
Just
your,
get outta
your
here.
you're nobody to me.
Why don't you just leave and I'll scream to the nurses about how you're trying to kill me?
And Lance is like, oh, that'll be fun. Why don't I play into the part 2? Are they still alive, Mr. Anderson?
Are they still alive, Mr. Anderson? Mr. Reyes.
Mr. Reyes, yeah.
Anderson is Matrix?
Yeah, Anderson is my fun Matrix joke.
Is that
I thought
who
would be
Keanu
funny.
Reeves plays?
Yes. That is Keanu Reeves'
He
character.
plays Anderson.
And the bad guy repeatedly goes, or maybe just one time goes, Mr. Anderson. Maybe not quite like that.
Mr. Anderson.
That was a little sitcom-y. But that's one of the things about The Matrix that I think about a lot. And anytime I say it out loud,
Mr. Anderson.
I crack myself up.
I like that.
I'm easy to amuse myself. I have a lot
I
of
would watch that show.
The Matrix?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Today,
Today?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Just 2 examples of way that we classify days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more, so I think we should move on to the next
Okay,
scene.
yeah.
The next scene of Hurley's is it them bawling?
I think it's
No,
them
it
ball-
isn't them bawling.
No, it's with Charlie.
It's with Charlie. He's sitting outside, and who should walk up but Charlie?
Charlie, he's got a fresh haircut.
He's got a fresh
looking
haircut.
good
He's
as
got
fuck.
cool
and
shades
you know
and a
why?
cool jacket.
He's a goddamn ghost.
He's ghost. He's dead. And he comes up, and Charlie's like, "You're not real. I'm imagining this." And Charlie says, "Yeah, maybe I'm dead, but I'm also here." And then he slaps him. And Hurley's like, "I guess you're alive. Fine." And Charlie's like, "Well, listen. I know you freaked out when you saw me in the store, but hey, listen. I'm here for a reason, dog." And Hurley's just like, "Whatever." He covers his ears and
I
goes,
don't
"La
wanna
la
hear
la 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 la
you."
la, whatever. And Hurley and Charlie basically says the same thing, which is, "They need you, baby.
You need to go back there and save the boys.
The boys are in trouble on the island. You got to go save them.
Boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town."
Actually, what he should have been saying is, the boys are back in time. The
Guess
boys
who's
are
back in time today? The wide-eyed island that had been away.
Oh, I should have been in the store when you were buying those chips. I think that's James Taylor.
That is James Taylor.
Yeah,
Thanks, James.
you're welcome.
I was thinking James Taylor, not you.
I see where the confusion happened.
Yes,
there.
you both have the same first name.
Yeah, we do actually.
I would never thank you.
Both rich as fuck, too.
Yeah, you're both making that 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
Decimals included.
Yeah. That guy, anything between 1,000 and 9,999 is good enough for him.
Mm-hmm. He's easy to please.
Easy pleasy, beautiful cover girl.
That's him. So the final scene of Hurley time is my favorite time of day, Hurley time.
What time is it? It's Hurley time.
Jack shows up to the
b-ball court.
The b-ball court.
The psych ward b-ball court.
The psych ward b-ball court where Hurley's just kind of practicing his jumper.
Yeah.
Not his jumper, just his free throw.
Just his free throw.
And he's like, "Hey, how's it going? Thought I'd just swing on by."
I just stop it.
And they have a chat about like, how's life on the island? How's it going? I'm doing surgery and you're in a mental institution, and how's that going? And they're playing horse, and Hurley is making all of his shots, and Jack is completely airballing everyone.
He fucking sucks at b-ball.
Jack sucks. He had one too many screwdrivers, I think.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, Jack! You gotta stop drinking in the morning.
And eventually the conversation escalates to, I think we made the wrong decision when we lied about what happened, and we should go back. And Jack is very adamant and says, "We're never going back to that island."
Jack is a control freak.
He's a bit of a control freak.
I don't like him.
He can be a meanie sometimes. But that's mostly Hurley's time.
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
And it's nice.
Now, what the heck's happening on that dang old island?
Oh, well, there's a boat.
There's a big old freighter.
So the freighter is coming to get him.
Yes, exactly. So they have just made first contact with the freighter, which is the central thing of season 4. Is what's the deal with this freighter? And the freighter contacts them back via some weird video phone and says, "Hey, we're having a bit of trouble locking onto your signal. Could you give the phone to the phone's owner, Naomi? But here's a problem. Wrinkle in that situation.
Here's the wrinkle in the old cap.
Is that Naomi just got a knife to the back from Locke.
Yes, literal knife to the back.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it's not looking good. She's lying face down in the dirt.
There's a knife in her still.
Still a knife in her. No one did anything after she got a knife in the back and then lied down in the dirt. No one even paid her second mind.
No, they did not. But which is a little rude. But
if I saw another human being get a knife in the back and then lie face down in the dirt, I would hopefully
Well,
go over there for a second.
well, you think you would, but that's that classic bystander syndrome that everyone's always talking about.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I gotta be honest
Yeah,
here. I'd let her lie down there with the old knife in her back.
You got places to go, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, someone else is gonna take care of it. You know that?
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
If Charlie was there, because he's the person who beat bystander syndrome when that lady was getting
Yes, when the lady was
mugged.
getting robbed. Yeah. I forgot about that scene.
So if Charlie was there, he would have went over and said, "Hey, are you okay?"
Exactly.
She wouldn't have said anything because she's not conscious.
Exactly. But still, Charlie would have at least been like, "What the heck, guys?" Instead of being like, "Well, there's a phone. Uh-oh."
Yeah, exactly. These fucking millennials and their phones. Too distracted by their fancy fucking phones to go over to the body.
Do you think that was that really iPhone they were using?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think it was. I think it has Flappy Bird.
I hope it has Flappy Bird. The screen on the phone is incredibly vertical. It is like maybe the length of 3 of any given iPhone.
Hell
and
yeah.
It's, also
it's like if you took a TV remote and turned it into a screen.
Exactly. And it's also thick as a brick, too.
It's thick as a motherfucking brick.
Yeah.
Let's not mince words around that.
Yeah, it's a big phone.
Brick-sized.
Brick-sized. So they call and they say, "Hey, put Naomi on," but Naomi's obviously is dead. So Jack is like, I don't know. And so Jack, and then eventually what happens is, I forget how this happens, but they're kind of like talking about like, well, I guess we should start getting back to the beach so that the freighter can find us. But then, what do they see? But Naomi's body is missing.
Naomi's gone.
And so they're like, well, where could she have gone? Well, you should follow this blood trail to find her. And I think Jack and Russo and Ben, who is tied up and maybe the ugliest he's ever been.
Tied up Ben. He's real bloody, and let me tell you, it's a good look for him.
It's a good look for him. It's a classic look for Ben.
He's pretty hot.
He either looks like a pervert detective, like in that one episode, or he looks like he is literally on the verge of death.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
A pervert detective.
Yes.
Good guy or bad guy?
Bad guy. I think he is the pervert. He is not solving perversions.
I want to lean good guy. I think he detects perverts. And,
okay, he's a detector of perverts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, hey,
pervert detector. It's gonna be a new machine that you can buy. Every parent is gonna need one.
Oh, please, please.
You get it off Amazon Basics. Is gonna manufacture. Truly crazy shit.
Truly crazy shit. The only thing crazier than that is if it ends up looking like Ben in this episode.
They sent a bloody man to my house.
This is not what I wanted. This is in fact the opposite of what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Simply put, I think this is not an effective solution to the problem.
It's not good. So they follow the trail, but sadly, 'twas a false trail.
'Twas a false trail.
And Ben fucking roasts Jack about this.
Yeah.
Ben is just like, yeah, well, guess what? I saw Kate follow the real trail. She stole your phone, too. And looks like you're a fucking big-time dumbass, idiot.
And Jack he doesn't even say anything. Yeah. He's too mad.
Exactly. Jack just sits there and gets owned.
But it's sick because Jack is dumb.
Yeah, as much as
I don't like Jack.
I don't like Ben, but I also do like seeing Jack get roasted.
Yeah, I like seeing Jack get roasted.
Mm-hmm.
He never handles it well. He's never like, all right, well, good on Kate.
Yeah,
he's always like, God damn it, I just want to be right every time.
That's Jack. That's how Jack sounds.
I didn't even have my vodka orange juice this morning, and now I'm really angry.
So we cut to Kate following the real trail, and she gets a call from the phone.
Yeah.
And she handles it like a real con pro. No, she doesn't actually.
She picks it up and they're like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Kate. And they're like, are you with Jack? And she's like, nah, he's gone. And they're like, where's Naomi? And then she hangs it up.
She doesn't just hang it up. She says, we're looking for her.
Oh, yeah.
And
she
then
does
hangs
inform
it up.
them that they had lost Naomi.
Yep. So then, where's Naomi? But in a tree, and she drops down and holds a knife to Kate's throat and goes, "How dare you? I've been trying to help you guys get off this island, and you shove a knife into my back." And
God damn it.
Kate is like, no. That's that wild man John Locke. We're not with him. He's a booger. He's a total booger. And
he's a total booger.
And you can trust us, please.
You can trust us, please.
So eventually, the phone call rings again.
Yeah.
And Kate ends up conceding and giving Naomi the phone.
Yep.
And Naomi covers for them and says, "I didn't get stabbed in the back. I had an accident."
I like the thought. She doesn't say the words, "I didn't get stabbed in the back."
Yeah.
It's not like they're like, "Naomi, did you get stabbed in the back or something?"
Yeah.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. It's smooth. Naomi really gives out a ace lesson on how to give a fake phone call.
Yeah,
here
she
to Kate.
does. She's like, "I hit a tree."
I hit a tree on my way down from the parachute, and I can fix the signal for you so you can track us now.
Real
boop,
quick,
boop, boop.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna make it. Herc, I'm dead.
She dies pitifully.
It is always hard to believe that she had, after having a knife in her back, enough strength to make a false trail of blood.
A pretty long one too. That trail of blood lasted from the moment they left to pitch black.
Yes, it was a long trail of blood, doubled back to make a real trail of blood. Without anybody noticing, by the way.
Oh, of course. It all took about 3 minutes.
It took her 3 minutes to make a false trail of blood, double back, make a real trail of blood, climb up a tree, get the drop on Kate, hold a knife to her throat, change her mind, tell a lie on the phone, and then change the tracking thing on the phone. And that is exactly enough time she needed to before she died.
That she did not have a second longer or an ounce of strength more because she died the second that phone was hung up.
Yep.
And my goodness, was it good timing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really makes you think how sometimes just things all work out really
Everything
cleanly.
happens for a reason.
Exactly.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
Exactly. What do you say we swing on over to what Hurley and the gang are up to?
Hurley and the gang are, Hurley.
Hurley most. Well, Hurley.
He's happy.
Hurley
as
is happy.
Can be.
He just got the radio from Jack saying they made a signal with the freighter and they're all going home.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town.
And then Bernard comes over and he's like, "How you doing, old Hurlo?"
Yep. And Hurley says, "Guess what? I never told you this, but back in the day, I won the lottery."
What?
And he's like, "Yep. Worst thing that ever happened to me."
Who needs $150 million, eh?
And he says, and he's looking out at the beach, and he says, "You know what? I've been walking up all this beach this whole time. I've been stuck here, and I've always wanted to do a cannonball."
All out, son.
And Bernard grabs him by the shoulders and says, "You know what, Hurley? You better go cannonball."
Hell yeah, Bernard.
And
helping people achieve their dreams after you just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's true. This is definitely shortly after they all murdered a bunch of others.
It's sick.
It's pretty cool.
I like it. Bernard's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good scene.
And you know what Hurley fucking does?
Cannons the hell out of that ball.
And we get a nice scene of just Hurley enjoying himself in the ocean, having fun.
He's got a big stupid grin on his face. He's underwater. He gets up. His hair is beautiful.
Yes. And unfortunately, the moment does not last.
Ba-ba-ba-bye.
For whomst should arrive upon the shore, but the very boat, but Desmonde.
And who is not on that boat?
Who is missing from the boat?
Charlie.
For Charlie has passed away.
It's like that movie Castaway, but instead it's Passed Away.
Yeah, Passed Away with Tom Hanks and Volleyball Man.
And Volleyball Man. I think his name was Winston or something.
Yeah, Winston.
Winston.
I think it was Winston. No, it was Wilson. Winston is the monkey from Overwatch.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting a lot of kicks out of the idea of a panicked and starved and dying Tom Hanks screaming in agony about Winston, the monkey from Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
You can imagine that.
I would watch that goddamn movie.
Yeah. Imagine it's the same, except instead of Wilson, it's Winston, and he's there too, and he's helping out.
Winston. He's like, I got the guns.
I've got a shield that can help.
Classic Winston.
Classic Winston. I can hop really far.
Ooh, Winston. Save it for the sequel, because we're getting a second one with this goddamn cast.
Passed Away 2.
Castaway 2. Cast even further away.
Oh, shit. So Hurley's sad about Charlie being dead, as he should be.
Yeah.
But in Charlie's final moments, when he was in that underwater station, he learned that the people on the freighter, they're not who they say they are.
It's not Penny's boat?
It's not Penny's boat. They thought it was Penny Widmore's boat, Desmond's girlfriend's boat.
Yeah.
But it is not.
And Desmond sees Charlie right before he dies, and Charlie has written on his hand, which he puts through a glass window, or puts on a window, as water is coming in and Charlie is about to drown. He has the words written, not Penny's boat.
This scene doesn't happen in this episode. It's on the previously on and is referenced a bunch.
Yeah.
It's also one of the more iconic scenes of the show. It's something you see a lot of around as a iconic lost moment.
Really good.
Good lost moment. Good scene. But the boys are arguing about what to do with this information.
They're back in town.
They're back in town and they're saying, guess who just got back today? Not Penny's boat has been away. And
that's really fun.
And so he he goes. So the argument is basically they've already contacted him. Do we raise suspicion? This, that, and the other. There's a whole lot of what does not Penny's boat even mean? And Hurley snaps and says, fuck you all. We're going right now. Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit right now.
We're going to go meet the other group.
We're going to meet the other group. We're just going to tell them that's all there is to it. And
fuck
everybody's
you, big group of boys. Can't even make a decision on your own.
Exactly. And everybody picks up a bunch of guns and they go, here's the guns.
Yeah, they get a lot of guns.
They get a lot of guns and they don't really
They
use
do
them.
just go, here's the guns. I guess it's gun time.
As one does with guns.
Yeah, as I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Here's the guns.
Here are the guns. So, while they're walking through the jungle, Sawyer's like a good friend to Hurley. And Sawyer says, hey, Hurley, I'm sad about Charlie too. You want to talk about it? And Hurley's just kind of like, we got to just keep moving, dude. Just powering through like a champ.
Like a champ. Hurley, let yourself feel.
Let yourself feel. And Hurley doesn't let himself feel.
No.
And he falls behind from the group and he finds a spooky cabin and gets scared.
There's a crazy cabin. He goes up to the cabin and he looks in and there's this old man rocking on a chair and then an eye pops out.
And then he goes, whoa!
Wow! Who could that be?
And then he runs away and goes, ghost! And then he says, John Locke.
John Locke is standing over him and he goes, you lost, Hurley. You big old sack of rust.
You big old rust fucker.
Rust fucker.
And Hurley kind of catches him up on the whole situation. And Locke says, well, it looks like Charlie was right about those people on the freighter being dangerous, so I guess I'm justified in the cold-blooded murder I did.
Yep.
And Hurley's like, I
Not so sure about
I do agree with Charlie at least. And so Hurley and Locke are now aligned.
Yeah.
Because they both believe in Charlie.
Yeah, because they both. John Locke never trusted the people on the other side to begin with. And Hurley trusts Charlie.
Because otherwise, in Locke's own words, Charlie died for nothing.
Yeah. Locke's a shithead.
With Charlie's final moments, he sacrificed himself to let everybody know that the people on the freighter are not who they say they are.
Precisely.
So, this all culminates in a big old scene where everybody's waiting at the cockpit. We've got Sawyer and the gang. We've got Hurley and Locke who show up. And then eventually Jack and Kate and that crew make it back from wherever they were, the radio tower, I think. They make it back, and everybody's like, what the heck's going on? Let's all talk about how the deal is. And the first thing that happens, actually, is really wild, which is that Jack sees Locke, and immediately pulls out a gun and pulls the trigger on him.
He pulls the trigger. Well, he doesn't.
No.
He punches Locke in the face and then takes Locke's own gun.
Yes.
And pulls the trigger.
Yes.
But it doesn't work. And then he does it again and pulls the trigger again.
Yes.
And Locke's like, it's not loaded, you jabroni.
But also imagine the world where it is loaded.
Crazy.
And Jack
he just shoots Locke's face off.
Yeah, cool way to de-escalate.
Yeah, exactly. One last murder before we hit the road.
Yeah, exactly. Real Lord of the Flies.
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy. But anyways, after that kerfuffle gets sorted, Locke and Hurley basically make the case of it's the big argument of what do we do? Do we go to the freighter or do we not? Or should we trust the people on the freighter or don't we? And Locke basically says, I'm going to those yellow houses and holding up there for now. In the meantime, I'll figure something else out on the way, I guess. And everybody's just kind of like, what the heck, whatever, until Hurley comes along and says, well, guess what? Charlie's my friend, and he died because he believed in us, and I believe, and you know what, Jack? I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to my friend.
I'm going with Locke.
And there's also a sad scene. There's a lot of little moments in this. There's a lot of characters in the scene, so there's a lot of little moments.
Everyone makes a choice.
Hurley goes to Claire and says, "I'm sorry, Claire. Charlie's dead," and that's when Hurley really fucking feels it.
Yeah.
Hurley does a big sob.
Yeah.
Gets me in the heart.
It's real sad.
And yeah, everybody chooses their sides. Everybody chooses to go with
Sawyer
Jack.
chooses his side, and he starts walking towards Locke. And then Kate says, Sawyer, what are you doing? And then Sawyer says, what I've always done, Kate. Survivin'.
He straight up actually says it like that. We're not joking.
I don't know why he put on an accent for the words.
Should I pull up the story and feed the audio into the microphone?
Yeah, let's see if we can't get survivin'.
Yeah, survive. Because it is, when it happened, I really couldn't believe it. I really, honestly could not believe it.
It's sort of fucking beautiful.
Hey. Survivin'. It's really he really sounds straight up like he's been
surviving.
Like he's been a drunken man on a Halifax pier.
Yeah,
it's
and
really good.
He'll say some lines for another beer.
Yeah.
Surviving.
We've been having the most amount of fun with this line. I cannot stop saying
we laughed a lot.
We laughed a
lot.
We
watched that a lot of times.
We rewound it, and then we watched it, and then we recorded it and watched it again. Cause
it was really fucking good.
It gave us a lot of joy.
It is a really good episode.
It's a surprising. I didn't expect Sawyer to dip into the old
accent pond.
Exactly.
Yeah, dip into the old fountain of youth and come up with an accent from 1842.
Really bold move on Josh Holloway's part.
Yeah, Josh Hollywood.
Surviving.
Does anything else happen?
That pretty much is it.
Because the last scene is just Jack and the boy playing b-ball, eh?
Exactly. And then Jack and Kate are hanging out at the cockpit alone. And then they hear a chopper, and they meet Daniel Faraday, and boop.
And Daniel Faraday comes down, and he's like, "You Jack?" And the Jack's like, "Hell yeah, my boy."
There is one more scene I want to mention that we forgot that I just remembered about. In the first scene where everybody's just kind of like, well, we made contact and we're going home, and everybody around the Jack and Kate crew is like, yay, hooray!
We did it.
And Son and Claire are there, and they're like, and Son's I'm gonna have my baby in a hospital, and everybody's and Claire's like, well, I have a baby
brag
here.
about it.
Yeah. And Rose comes along and is like, guess what? I'm pretty sure we saved the day because your boyfriend Charlie went into the underwater thing and did that thingy, whatever he did. So you better treat him real good when he gets back.
Rose.
It is meant as because we, the audience, know that Charlie has died.
Yeah.
So it's meant as a ironic thing. But in practice, it's Rose telling Claire that he'd better really
fuck him real good.
Better really fuck Charlie.
Really fuck Charlie tonight.
For a sec. Lost was so close to passing the Bechdel test in that scene until everybody started talking about how their man are doing.
Yeah, they gotta fuck Charlie.
Yeah.
At least they were talking about a dead man. I think that wasn't that an amendment made to it?
They talk about Bernard too, though.
Yeah. Oh, they do talk about Bernard.
Who is dead inside?
It's fucking crazy.
Oh God.
They're just surviving.
We're all just surviving day to day.
I think that is the show.
That is the episode, I believe. There's a lot to that episode.
It was a crazy one.
It's a wild episode, just like the other episode, and it's wild in a different way. Because the other one, it felt like there was like too much going on. Here, it felt like there was an appropriate amount of things going on, but it's just kind of like all very like it's dense in a different way.
It was good. I loved this episode.
Yeah,
I really did.
You did?
I thought it was very good.
How'd you like our first Hurley episode?
Oh, I could go for 12 more.
Yeah, Hurley's great to watch and see.
What do you say we find out if we got another one coming up right away?
Yes. Let me pull up the old Google sheet.
Do I go to random.org or list of...
You should go to random.org.
Random.org. So this is a random number generator that we use. And they actually rely on static and not an algorithm. So it's true random.
It's true random. Look, if there's one thing you can say about us, is that we're just so fucking random, dude.
I got 39.
You got 39, eh? Okay, I'm not ready. So give me one moment.
Gonna have to kill some time real quick here. How's everybody's dog doing? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How is your... you ever think about being a pirate? Yeah, me too. Never had the eye for it, though.
What did you have the eye for?
Well, both of my eyes work, so I don't want to put a patch on one. I had the eye, though, of the tiger. That's why I was in Rocky 2. Hey, you're just listening to Freeway Dan and all non-stop tunes. Non-stop commercial radio. Commercial free. Give it to me. Let's get lit tonight.
Hey, let's get lit tonight. You can... You want to get lit tonight?
Surviving.
I'm surviving. I'm sorry, I'm having such trouble.
I will survive.
I will survive. I'll talk about it.
Perhaps you have wondered how predictable machines like computers can generate randomness.
I have.
In reality, most random numbers used in computer programs are pseudo-random, which means they are generated in a predictable fashion using a mathematical formula. This is fine for many purposes, but it may not be random in the way that you expect if you are used to dice rolls and lottery drawings. Random.org offers true random numbers to anyone on the internet. The randomness comes from atmospheric noise, which for many purposes is better than pseudo-random number algorithms typically used in computer programs. Most use random.org for holding drawings, lotteries, sweepstakes, to drive online games, for scientific applications, for art and music. The service has existed since 1998 and was built by Dr. Mads Haar of the School of Computer Science and Statistics at Trinity College Dublin in Ireland.
So what was the number that randomness
39.
pulled? We've had that one, unfortunately. So
we've
you'll
had
have to
that.
do another one.
Okay. Yeah. 55.
55, eh? Ooh. We've done that one too.
We've done that. Come on, random.org. 33?
33. Yep, that's a fresh one.
That's a fresh one. What are we looking at here?
We're looking at Season 2, Episode 8, Collision. And the episode is about Ana Lucia.
Ana Lucia!
Yeah.
Still no Jack or Locke.
No Jack or Locke.
Ana Lucia's around for like 2 episodes.
She's around for 2 episodes, and this is one of them.
This is fucking crazy. I love it.
That's great. Hey, thanks for listening to our silly show.
Thank you so much. We love having you listen.
We love having you listen. We wouldn't do it if you weren't listening. Tune in next week where we watch another episode and talk more stuff about it.
About the show Lost.
Hey, I've been Bean.
I've been James.
Thanks again, and like we say at the end of every episode.
Yeah.